Alright, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Command & Conquer Rivals. I've got a clan member who asked me to review one of his videos, and I'm going to be doing that today. Let's see if I can keep this media down. Actually, no. I'm going to turn the volume all the way off. So let's get to it. Meant to do this yesterday, but I got busy with family stuff. Alright. Here we are. We got a rewatch, and I'm going to... There's just a lot that happened with this one. I thought this would be a good video to review, to point out some mistakes for him, and some advice, and you guys can probably learn from this as well. So my friend here, Luke, part of the clan Borg, starts on the right, and he has a basic harvester. The other guy's rushing him, so, rifleman's the way to go here, and he actually does pump out the rifleman, so he's got a great start. The rifleman shooting the jetpack troopers right off the bat. He builds a second rifleman, I believe. Yes, there's a second rifleman. At this point, though, he should have had the second rifleman going through beforehand. He shouldn't have waited, and then start pushing forward, get one on the pad, get that timer going so you get those missiles. And yes, the rocket squads were, again, the right choice, go harass the harvester. But he should have a rifleman on the far left pad, maybe even on the bottom right pad, and then here he could have used one of the riflemen with the rocket squad to block off those the zone troopers from being able to hurt them. So he could have actually had his rocket squads at least bring the harvester down below half. Building those chem troopers was, again, a good choice. Now, I'm going to pause this for just a second here to talk about something, though. He's running Kane with chemical troopers. That's not necessarily bad, but the chemical troopers combo really well with the other hero with the catalyst missile. He's not running that, so he's actually designed his army in a way that's kind of weak to him. And also, if you look at his army composition, which you can see right here on the bottom right, he's got, 2 cheap infantry, 1 expensive infantry, then an expensive building. You go straight for tech. That's limiting him highly to early game. If his opponent started with, a chemical buggy or something like that, he would have been screwed for the first couple minutes of the game. And if the opponent built chemical buggy, then, attack bikes or something like that, it would have been over. He could have lost right then and there. So this army composition, first off, is not the best because it lacks the medium game. He goes straight from early game and stuff to slow down late game, and then straight to late game. He's going to get to his late game a lot slower this way, and it's just, honestly, he would do better just taking the chemical troopers out and replacing them with flame troopers if he had to do something like this. But that hero power does not work with it because that's an expensive hero power. He's got an expensive build. He needs double harvesters to make this work, which you don't really want something that needs double harvesters to be able to work practically at all. He has a little bit of just riflemen and rocket squads essentially, and that's it for his early game. That's not a good army composition. I do believe his whole army does need rework on several levels. But anyway, moving forward from that, he built a second chemical trooper. I think that might have been a little too much because he's now spent 120 just on anti-infantry, where, to be frank, another rifleman would have done just as good. Or he's already got a rifleman, which is anti-infantry. He didn't need that chemical trooper at all. He could have built something else or put that money into something else. That's, again, just slowed down. That's $60 plus the 70 he's got. He could have already had out 120 cost unit, or the building. Or, maybe something cheaper and his second harvester. But he did manage to hold the guy off. He's killed the jump jet troopers. Things are going well. He's got the rocket squads back out. He's got a lot of money, though, right now. And here's the big thing. He's still pumping out some of that cheap stuff that he needs. And it's not doing him a whole lot of good. He way overdid the anti-infantry. You know what I mean? He did great at first. Now, the opponent's got the second harvester. So now he's behind in the harvester build. But he does get the first missile. Very good there. He gets the harvester, so now he's got a huge money advantage. Great. Now he should be pumping out those tech units. He's got lots of anti-infantry, so he builds an anti-tank. Okay. That anti-tank, though, he's got no tanks in the field. So he should have been using that against the opponent's harvester. He should have kept the rifleman back, used the anti-tank, killed that second harvester, slowed down his opponent's economy, and made his opponent lose his next unit that he could build. So he'd have to rebuild that harvester. Also, he's not building anything right here. He's just sitting here. Now, I'm assuming this is from glitch or lag, but I mean, that killed him massively. Now the guy's got zone troopers, so now he does need anti-infantry. He needs those chemical troopers, and if you can see it, hopefully about now, I think. If we switch the view for a sec, yeah, it just came into view. He also needs anti-tank. So now he needs to build something like the chem troopers for the zone troopers and his anti-vehicle thing for the anti-tank and push forward. But again, I'm going to assume this is lag. He gets a harvester. This is a bad time to get a harvester. And then when he does build a unit, he builds an anti-tank, anti-air unit. The opponent has no air. That was completely unnecessary. That was not the best build, especially to use infantry against an anti-infantry unit. He lost against that unit on the bottom right. And then he uses an anti-tank, anti-air again, now against infantry. Now he finally gets the anti-tank unit on the bottom right. That's what he should have done first and killed that thing right away. And again, he's pumping out more anti-tank, anti-air to deal with zone troopers. And his little spider, that's not going to deal with one zone trooper, no less what he now has to deal with three. And he gets in the middle. That was bad positioning. Tried to fight all three at once. He should have moved the infantry's got up to fight the bigger unit first, and then brought that over. And really, at this point, he needed those chem troopers. Early in the game, he overdid them. Later in the game, he did not do them at all. And those zone troopers just broke him. And another thing I'll point out that's very important for this, there were lots of times where it was probably lag, but if it wasn't, people were just standing there not doing anything. That was huge mistakes. If it was a mistake, again, there's been a lot of lag in the game lately. I ran into it myself. Could have been that. And the final note that I'm going to say here is that leader power. He did not get to use his leader power one time the entire game because of the way his army was designed, where his opponent was using his leader power again and again. And I saw that little turret pop up at least 3 times, I thought. And that's, you can only build so many units at a time. Having that power give you a unit advantage here, a unit advantage there. And again, setting up the right units for the right job. Using an infantry to fight an anti-infantry was not good. He should have used the tank unit, which looks like an infantry, to fight the anti-infantry, anti-air vehicle, and he should have used the chem troopers, which are infantry that are good against infantry, to fight the zone troopers, which are infantry that are good against tanks and infantry. Or not tanks and infantry, sorry, tanks and air. So use what your opponent's not good against, but it's hard to tell where he messed up and where the game was lagging, because it looks pretty straightforward to me. I'm going to call that, though. Hopefully he'll see this and you all enjoy. Oop, if it'll let me stop.